things have to just keep rolling along. And to help us do that, in this review we're looking at some Hamm rollers. Here is one, and it comes in a small box with pictures of the real machine. And as it says on the box, this is the snappily named HD Plus 120i VIO-2 HF roller. The model is made by NZG and it's model number 1086. And this time we get two models for the price of two. And that's because there's a second version of the model. And this one is the HD Plus 120i V-VIO. And it's also closely related in the model number, which is 10861.
Let's weigh it up.
We move quickly to the weighbridge, and the HF version comes in at 10 ounces, and that's 285 grams. But wait, let's check if the other version is any different. And we find it weighs exactly the same. Let's move on and open the box and see what's inside. And there we have the usual pair of trays. And voila, there is the model wrapped in soft paper. As you can see, it's quite small, so it's not a challenge for the giant hand cranes to get it out. Also, as a nice touch, there's a small bag containing some spare mirrors. So here we have the first model out of the box, and it's joined by its brother. It looks like they are the same castings, with the difference being the graphics of the model numbers.
Let's weigh it up again.
We will try one model on the weighbridge, and it comes in at just 8 ounces. What is 225 gramlets? Just a reminder that you can see a lot more about models on the Cranes Etc. website, and the link to it is in the video description below. Also, if you want to know where you can buy scale models, then you can click on links on the website, including those in the shopping mall. And listed here are dealers that sell models in countries across the world. Looking underneath, and the roller drum has a nice steel finish, and there is a rigid scraper. The complex steering through hydraulic rams is modelled well, and the base is fairly plain, but it's surprising there's no NZG logo. There's also a scraper on the other drum. This is the front, and the lights are nicely modelled, and the Hamm name is rendered with graphics. The scraper is reasonably detailed, and the front mirrors are modelled in plastic. The big water tank has filler caps, and there's a Wirtgen logo. The windscreen has a very thin windscreen wiper, and it looks like there are cameras to give a rear view. The casting around the drum support is very nice, and a standout detail is the highlighted bolt heads, and these make a difference to the look of the model. Under the cab there's a panel door to get to the engine, and a nice touch is the textured steps which lead up into the cab. Further back there's a textured painted grille, and a nice almost hidden detail is the grille at the bottom of the rear window. Moving to the rear drum, and the detailing is at the same level, and this is where you see the machine number. At the back there's the same arrangement of lights and scraper as we saw at the front. Looking at the rear of the cab, and the grab rails are in soft plastic, and it's interesting to see that there are 3 windscreen wipers on the rear windows. There are more soft grab rails on the sides of the roof, and it is nicely painted. With the roller positioned to get sunshine on its backside, we see that the drums roll reasonably well. But the particular highlight of the functionality is the steering mechanism, and it works nice and smoothly with a very good range of movement, and it's also pleasantly stiff. Out on the Cranes Etc. blacktop, the roller rolls reasonably well, without being completely free rolling. Let's set the steering to a tight angle, and it does a surprisingly good job of rolling, with no noticeable skidding. The complex hydraulic arrangement controlling the steering serves another purpose, and that is that it allows the rear drum to be offset from the front drum. And by doing that, it avoids the drum forming ridges in the asphalt, which might happen if the drums are lined up. And here we're looking at it from a front-on viewpoint, and you can see the offset rear drum. Another feature the model has is opening cab doors, and these are a very good fit, so you might need some fingernails to be able to get them open. With the door open, we can see right inside the cab, and you can see that the driver's console has got some excellent tiny graphics. Inside the cab there's also another interesting feature. The operator's chair and console rotates, but it's also mounted on a rail so it can move from side to side, and that gives the operator plenty of viewing options. A model like this is always good for posing with others, and here we're using both of them as good looking loads on a low loader. The other way you can use the model is in a diorama, and it looks good in a setup where asphalt is being laid. These two Hamm roller models by NZG continue the high standard of modelling that NZG does for the Wirtgen group. They have a high metal content with a very pleasing level of detailing, and they faithfully capture the look of the real machines. They also have some interesting functionality which allows alternative posing opportunities. So if you're interested in models of road making equipment, these two are very good.